Good evening. This is Attorney Vince Davis, and this is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. Tonight we're going to be taking calls. Hopefully we're going to be getting in touch with our co-host, Cynthia Becker. And at the 8 o'clock hour, we have a special guest coming on. Her name is Attorney Jennifer Ani. Jennifer has been doing CPS cases and fighting CPS cases for more years than I have. And she's very well known in the northern part of the state here. And she is truly an expert in CPS law. And a few weeks ago, she joined my law firm. So we're going to be talking to her. She's going to be telling us a little bit about herself and talking about some of her war stories. So please stay tuned during the 8 o'clock hour for Jennifer. Right now, let's take our first call. Let's go with Misty from Texas. Misty, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Hello, Vincent. I actually have a little bit of a both. I have a question and a story, but I promise I will keep it brief.
Go ahead.
Long story short is I have been allegedly accused of taking illicit substances, but yet there's no drug test results with the positive on my record. This has been literally happening since January 1st of this year. That's how I started the year. And they only removed one of my two daughters, and they took 198 days to give me my first hearing, and 8 days later, they took my youngest child and placed her in foster care. They denied my mother the kinship care due to some bogus allegation of, like, my mom supposedly in denial. It's just a BS excuse. So my question is, how do I get my child out of foster care, and how do I get them to listen to me when they won't accept my negative drug test because they weren't, quote-unquote, CPS mandated, CPS paid for, or it's past the statute of limitations to enter in new evidence?
How long has your case been open?
It has been open since January 1st,
2020. Okay. Do you have an attorney that's helping you in this situation?
Ordered or offered one, I guess it's called like an ad litem, since maybe mid-August after the removal, but they have really been no help at all.
Okay, so your attorney wouldn't be called the guardian ad litem. Your attorney is just, your attorney. Usually you hire an attorney or you have a court-appointed attorney. Do you have either?
Then it would be the court-appointed.
Okay. So do you have a chance to sit down with your court-appointed attorney and strategize about the case?
I've actually tried to do so. He's never in the office. He doesn't return emails or phone calls. And half the time he just basically tells me just to do what they say and just do it and be done. But in the state of Texas, they are usually in foster care for a year. And I just don't. The holidays are coming up, and I don't want to play the game. And, I mean, I'm doing the parenting class. I'm doing everything that they've asked me to do as far as that goes. But I don't want to have to just sit here and just do what they say, because I don't think that A, is fair, and B, that hurts the kid, and C, like, that's, a year without my child and my sister or her sister. The siblings are separated too.
Misty, let me tell you this. I don't want you to look at this case from your glasses or from your eyes. I want you to look at this case from the eyes of the judge and or the social worker. Getting your kids back at this point is not about being fair or unfair, okay? It's about winning and getting your kids back, period, end of story. If they've done something wrong, after the case, after you get your children back, you can talk about maybe a civil rights claim against them and, suing them in federal court. But look, you shouldn't be thinking about that now. There should be only one thing on your mind, and that is getting the kids back.
Exactly.
I'm licensed in California. I'm not a Texas attorney, but I would tell you this. You have to have someone review your case so that they can tell you exactly what direction to go in. And in your county or in your city where your case is, I'm sure, or, Texas is a big place. I'm sure you can find a CPS attorney in Texas that will be able to take a look at your case, review it, and come up with a strategy. Now, they may charge you money, But,
Right.
that's in my mind, that's going to be an investment that may, give you returns. One of them, the return will be getting your child back. How does that sound?
Exactly. Well, the problem is I'm in Wichita Falls, and we're kind of small. I'm a little bit north of, about an hour and a half north of Dallas. And I actually tried to go find an attorney that I would pay for, but however, they said they wouldn't take the case because they still have to work in this county after my case is through. So I've contacted some in Houston and Dallas, and no luck. So
Well,
that's kind of where I'm sitting.
keep calling, keep trying. You got to find someone. There is someone out there that will be able to help you. Okay. And by the
Okay.
way, if your case was in California, I'd also be telling you, hey, get your kids placed with a relative or family friend if that's available, inside the state of Texas. In California, that relative or family friend doesn't have to live in your county, doesn't have to even live in your state. They can live anywhere in the United States or in the world. So, it's always changes the leverage when you get the child placed with a relative or family friend. So talk to the attorney, even the attorney that you have, talk to him or her about making some type of motion, if you can in Texas, to get the kids placed with relatives. It really changes the complexion of the case.
Right. Like I said, I've tried doing that. They did the home study. My mom cooperated. She'd have her own room and everything. And now their excuse for denying it is that my mom is in quote unquote denial about me being a drug abuser. So,
Well, let me tell you a secret strategy, okay? And I tell people
okay.
this all the time. Don't go to the social worker with one relative or family friend. Go with 25. They can say no to one person. They can't. It's pretty damn hard to say no to 25 people,
Right.
right?
Yes, sir.
So make a
Makes
list
sense.
of 25 people, name, address, telephone number, and their relationship to the child or children. And if they're a family friend, just put family friend. In California, and I would bet $1 it might be the same in Texas. In California, under Welfare and Institutions Code Section 309, they're supposed to investigate and report back to the court about all relatives and family friends that you ask for the child to be placed with. And I'm
Right.
I'm pretty sure that comes as derived from federal law, which ends up paying for all of this. So all the states are supposed to comply with federal regulations from the Department of Health and Human Services. So talk to the attorney or talk to an attorney. Texas is a big place. You need to find someone quickly that can give you some advice.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Misty, thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening. Call us back in 2 or 3 weeks and give us an update, please. I'd like to know what's going on with your case. All right. Thank you, Misty. All right. Do we have time for another call, or we've got to take a break? Okay, we're going to take our first break this evening. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win.